This is Jaime Pena. He is the VP of CAB, Rookie of the Year, Outstanding First Generation Student, and this past year's Orientation Coordinator here at the University of St. Thomas. In this episode of Bold, we talk about how Jaime found himself getting involved on campus, making the community his second family, and how he and his team work together to put up the biggest and best events on campus. If you're a student who is interested in getting involved on campus, stick around. Welcome back, guys. We got a special guest today, Jaime Pena. Woo!
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you guys.
Welcome
nice to
the
be
show,
on
man.
here.
It's
Nice to
good.
meet
It's
you.
good to have you here.
Thank you.
Long time coming, man.
I know, it's crazy.
We started, I known you for a minute. We came in as freshmen. We interned at CAB together, and it's just crazy to see how far we came, man.
Yeah, truly, whenever, I first met you, we were both, strangers to each other.
Yeah.
And then last year, we started talking to each other and getting to know each other. And now here we are. You're doing Max, and I'm doing CAB. It's kind of crazy.
Everything. You're doing a lot of stuff, man. So let's go and let's talk a little bit about yourself first. So for the people that don't know you, I know people seen your face probably a lot. You're really involved. Who are you? What's your name, major?
So I'm Jaime Pena. I am a junior here, majoring in business management with a double minor in marketing and finance. And I am the vice president, like you said, for Campus Activities Board, otherwise known as CAB, along with the Freshman Symposium Student Representative, along with being a presidential ambassador, an intern for Rising Stars, and the OL development for orientation this year. So those are all the positions I've held on campus this year, which I'm really, really, truly grateful for.
Man, congrats, man. You're really involved. That's amazing to see. So let's talk about you coming into UST, right? Before you even started getting involved and making such a big presence here. Where were you before this? What high school did you go to? Were you involved there?
So before I came to UST, I was at a high school in 3rd Ward called Energy Institute High School. And that high school was very project-based learning. So everything was hands-on. It was very much, everyone was divided into cohorts. So everyone had to do projects and seminars and stuff like that. And I was very involved in my high school. I was the co-chief editor for the yearbook committee, along with doing the co-chair for prom committee. So I was planning prom as well and doing the morning campus announcements.
Okay.
So that was a really fun thing to do. And I was an office aide, a teacher assistant. So the list can go on and on, but those are the biggest things. Yeah, I was there.
Good. Why'd you come to UST?
So my sister goes here. She's a senior this year, and she had brought me onto campus one day while she was in class, and she was just saying just stay here, enjoy the campus. I have class. I was like, all right. And so whenever I came onto campus, I didn't know UST. I just knew that I had family who came here, and my sister came here. And so that day, I just got a drink from Oolong, and I walked to campus, and I just kind of fell in love with the campus itself and how everyone was together, and seeing the students mingle and talk to each other. It was just very welcoming, even though I didn't know anyone, even though I was still a senior in high school. Just seeing the interactions that the students had with each other, that's what brought my attention to UST. Yeah. And then I was also raised Catholic, so the way that UST stands for their mission, that's what brought me into UST, to grow into my faith and keep that Catholicism growing in my family and in myself as well.
It's amazing, man. So as soon as you got into UST, I know I said you entered that CAB, but that's what you did first. What led you to go straight into CAB?
The main thing that led me into CAB was they had a pop-up table at orientation. And from there, I got to learn about what CAB was about, their mission, and how CAB is about tradition and how they enhance the campus with one event at a time as they go. And that's what CAB stands for. And seeing what they stood for was tradition. That's what brought me into CAB. I'm very big on traditions, especially with my family. So seeing that there was an organization that was also big on traditions is what brought me into it. And seeing how much work the officers, and from then to now, how much it's changed is what's been keeping me going. The mission and what CAB stands for is what keeps me going. Yeah.
So going into CAB, right? So what are some of the events that you guys organize here on campus?
So our first event that we have always at the beginning of the school year is Kelp Carnival. That's always our first one to kick off the year. We have Fall Fest and Build a Lenny that are always in collaboration with RSO. We have Niwala, which is our Halloween event. So if you didn't know, Niwala is actually Halloween spelled backwards. We build our haunted house down in the basement, the officers, and we have our interns coming to help us. And it's this really big thing that we always have every year. And then our other big event that we have in the spring semester is Spring Formal.
I went last year. It was fun, man.
Yeah.
It was amazing, man.
Thank you.
So, matter of fact, speaking about Nawala, it's about setting up. We're actually gonna head out there right now, and we will check it out and see how setup is going. Right?
All right, let's go.
Let's go. And we're here, man.
I'm excited. We're here.
Where we at?
So right now we are in the haunted house
Okay.
for Niwala. We're actually in our second room. So right now, with the exits coming into the new house, so this is where we're at right now. So, yeah.
What's the, it looks amazing. It looks kind of creepy, creepy. I'm asking us to go.
Yeah.
What's the theme for this year?
So this year's theme is Couch Tower of Terror. It's supposed to be an homage to Disney's Tower of Terror out in Hollywood Studios, and the movie Twilight Zone. So this year it's supposed to be very like hotel type style, but also very antique and creepy. So basically in the film, there's these guests who come to this hotel room, and this hotel.
Scared me, bro. It scared me, bro. How that scared me? How that scared me, bro? I hate
Not them doing that.
Bro, that's bad. That's the sound way. But as you can tell, this is how Nawala's gonna be. You get scared, people jump scare you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but, pretty much. Yeah.
So what goes into making these events true? 'Cause I know these are big events.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, how many people came?
So last year we had about almost 400 students come out to Niwala. So we're expecting the same to come out to.
Probably
yeah,
more.
or probably more this year. But basically, the making that goes into Niwala, it takes a lot of time, and it took a lot of commitment from me and my team to make this house.
Well, thank you so much for. We're probably gonna look around a little bit. For a while, we'll check it out.
Yeah.
And let's go back to the studio, and we'll finish the rest of the interview there.
Yeah.
See you there.
See y'all there.
And we're back. Thank you for showing us the setup for Nawala. You look great. I can't wait to see the event come to life.
I'm excited.
By the time this episode comes out, it will be out.
Yeah, it would have already happened, or if it's probably gonna be out, one of the two. Yeah.
This is the BTS for Nawala.
Yeah, everyone's gonna get to see a sneak peek of how we actually go behind the scenes with how we built the haunted house. So now everyone's gonna see an inside scoop.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been involved a lot, right? And I want to touch a little bit about CAB because you've been in CAB for a while. You were interning last year. I mean, you interned your freshman year. The second year, you were the
assistant vice president,
and now you're the vice president.
Right.
And so, is CAB sort of like your second family to you? Would you say that?
Yeah, I think because of the way I got involved in CAB my freshman year, and how I made the connections with the officers, the advisors, it kind of became a second home to me. And even the office itself of student activities, everyone in that office literally became my family, from the officers on my team or to the officers on the other organizations here on campus, to the interns or innovators or fellows. Like, each organization has their own program where they also bring students who want to get involved. And I've made connections with everyone in that office that they've literally become my second family, which, like, yes, CAB became my second family, but that whole office became my second family.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful answer, man. That's good. So I want to talk about things like you've learned, right? Because you're very involved. We see all these shirts right here. So what are some of the lessons you learned from, let's say, interning at Rising Stars or being an OC, a presidential ambassador, or even like a first symposium mentor? What are some of the lessons you've learned?
I think the biggest thing I've learned, like in general from all of them, is organization skills. Like, all of these shirts like represent like each of my positions I've held on campus. But while managing all these positions, you have to figure out like how you're going to organize your day. And they've taught me a lot with organizational skills, because each position has their own time commitments. With CAB, I not only have my office hours that I have, but I also have to have my weekly meetings with my officers, making sure we're okay on time with our events. And then I have my vice president meetings with them. And then I have my executive meetings with all the other chairs and vice presidents of all the organizations, making sure we're okay with each other, that we're all on the same page with where we're going with our organizations. So it's taught me a lot of how to organize my time with CAB. But not only that, but I have to plan the event as well. So I have to see how we're going to structure out the event, the scheduling and stuff like that. So there's a lot of nitty gritty things that go into it, but that's the part that I've learned a lot. You have to be able to organize everything and see everything laid out to see what you're going to do. With Rising Stars, they've helped me with my career. Right now, I have an internship at Greater Houston Partnerships, which luckily I didn't know was right across from Minute Maid. So if I ever have to go to an Astros game, I'm right across the street.
Yeah.
But they've taught me so much with event planning. I'm in the events division for them. And we recently had an event where it was an energy leadership conference. And they showed me so much with what's going on in Houston, with the energy world and the engineering world. And it was so interesting to get that insight. But working with the team that I have at that internship, they've helped me grow and make connections with other people, not only in that partnership, but with the guests that we have at these events. So I've made so many relationships and connections that it's helping me further my career. And so for Rising Stars, I'm like truly grateful for, because without them, I don't know where I would be with my like career. So truly they've helped me a lot. And with orientation coordinator, that position taught me a lot with patience, and it showed me a lot with not only do I have to practice patience, but I have to rely on the team. And working on a team with orientation versus CAB is a totally different ball game. So adjusting from those two roles was something that I had to learn. And patience is what the biggest thing I learned with orientation, and that whatever happens, you have to learn from it and grow. And you have to be okay with the outcomes, and you just have to persevere from them. And with the patience aspect, like I'm usually a fast paced person, like I'm on the go all the time. But with orientation, you have to let things come to you slowly but surely, and they get done. Like you can't worry too much about the things. And orientation literally taught me a lot with patience.
Is a virtue.
Yeah, it
Patience
is.
is a virtue.
So it taught me a lot with that position. I'm truly forever grateful for that position. And with Freshman Symposium, last year I was a mentor. So I was the student mentor with Dr. Balderas, teaching about how to navigate global studies. And being in a classroom really brought me back to my orientation roots as an orientation leader last year, and I enjoyed it so much. But this year, I was able to become the Freshman Symposium student rep. So on behalf of like all of the Freshman Symposium mentors this year, I help them like with what they need with their classes, like if they need anything like to support their students in their classrooms. Like I'm there along with the team that I have with the advisor committee. They're there to help me, back me up. Of like, hey, this mentor needs this for their classroom. This mentor needs that for their classroom. And they're like, okay, let's get it for them. So we're all practicing how to communicate, which is another big thing that like we're all learning is communication. And so with Freshman Symposium, that's the biggest thing. Not only am I communicating with the mentors, but I'm communicating with my advisors for that position. So it's a lot of communication that's going back and forth. And with Presidential Ambassador, I'm meeting new Celts. Hopefully they come to UST, and getting to talk to the families and the students, and seeing what their reaction is to UST, how much we know about the campus, the backstory and the history of UST, and just answering their questions and making those connections with those families is what always like attracted me. Like just being able to make a difference, I think is one of the big things that PA has helped me. But making a difference with all of my positions is what's literally impacted me the most.
Yeah.
Like impacting the students, like that's the one thing I always want to do, like make an impact on a positive way, no matter what, and just like make someone stay. That's pretty much it.
You know, speaking about PAs, you know, you're meeting a lot of new freshmen,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully come in.
Right.
What's like one piece of advice that you would tell the new freshman coming in?
I would say make at least one friend here. Like that's the biggest thing. Like college is a big place for you to grow and to find out who you are as a person and what you want to do in life. But you can't do that alone. You have to find one person to call a friend and to like you can rely on. So making that one friend on campus, whether it's whenever you have an orientation session or whether you're in class and you need help with the material that's going on, just making that one friend like is gonna help you go a long way because then you get to meet other people and you get to create friend groups and you have different friend groups for every different class or for subject or whatever you're involved in. But just making that one friend can get you so far. And I would also say to get involved like early on. Like, yes, I'm involved in so much, but I didn't start that way. I started off as a cab intern, as a Rising Stars intern, and as an orientation leader. But each of those positions have those time frames that I was involved in. But getting involved helped me to where I'm at now. So if you can get involved earlier and not overload your plate, I would say definitely like get involved for sure.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, one last question before we,
Mm-hmm.
what's next? What's next? You know, what are the goals for the future, man?
I think the biggest goal for me now that I want to do is not only focus on school and my academics, but also my career now. Like, I'm grateful for everything that I've learned here in my leadership roles with UST, and I would do it all over again if I could. But I think now I feel I've done a good impact and a big impact on not only the students, but the
Yes,
school
sir.
itself. And now it's time to focus on me and focus on my career. So I think the next step is now getting internships outside of Rising Stars, of course, but getting internships where I can further my career and just do me and do what I'm passionate for in my career.
Well, I'm wishing best of luck for you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out to the show.
Appreciate it.
And let's say, stay bold.
Stay
Stay
bold.
bold, guys.